So let's continue working through our errors here. Let's click on the data. Right here, if you scroll down, you will see the SQL Server error. So we'll just hit Control Dot and we know the package that is needed, which is Microsoft.EntityFramework.Core.SQL Server. So the package for SQL Server is giving us an error. It just says that rolling back the package changes for Rocky_data access. What is going on here? Let me show you what actually happened if we go to the output window. Here you can see more errors. You can see there is some compatibility issues that are going on. And the reason is there is Microsoft.EntityFramework.Core.Relational, which is 3.1.5, and all the other packages are .NET 5 Preview 4. So if you install packages of different .NET Core versions or even different preview, they will give error messages which you cannot easily debug from what we saw. So let's go to dependencies and we have packages. Right here you can see all the packages that were installed. Let's right click on data and manage NuGet packages. If we go on the installed package, all of them are .NET Core version 3.1. We need to update them to the preview version. So we can hit the update here. We'll hit update, accept. Great, this package was updated first. Then let's also update the relational. And finally, we will update the ASP.NET Core.Identity.EntityFramework Core. We had to update this in the last because the first thing that was needed was Entity Framework Core. Once you have all of that, since we are here, we can browse for SQL Server. We can install the Preview 4. And perfect. This time it was installed successfully. As you can see, we have the uninstall option, which is available now. We'll close this. We'll go back here and this error is also gone. Let's build the project to see what errors are remaining. Let's go to the data and we can just remove this. Control X, we do not need that. Let me open up and pin the error list so we can start resolving them. We'll remove the data. Application DB context, we'll press Control Dot to include Rocky_data access. So rather than data, it should be Rocky_data access. Great. We'll make those changes in the other required places. Let me copy Rocky_data access so we can paste it right here. Now if you see this error with the build target model, just ignore that for now. Let's go to the data here and fix those. Now in here we have a package downgrade, so let's make sure that's not the case. We want all the packages to have the same .NET Core version. Yep, we have the ASP.NET Core.Identity.EntityFramework Core. Let's manage this and let's update this. Once we do that, let's build our project. Then the errors that we have here is if we double click, we have the build target model. And these errors are not what you think it is. The error is if you go up, you can see the namespace is rocky.migrations. We have changed this to rocky_data_access.migrations. As soon as you change that, you can see it went down to 10. So we'll copy this and paste it in all the places. Great, so with that we are left with one last error, which is it cannot find the data access.dll. Let's clean our solution. Once we do that, let's rebuild our solution. Once we do that, the error goes away and we have the namespace for data error. This will change this to _data access. Let's build our project one more time. And great, our build is successful. So why were we seeing that model builder error? The reason is we have migrations here, and if we expand, we have the designer version. We changed the namespace for the main CES file, but we did not change for the designer files. So that's why you have to make sure that you need to change the namespace in both the places. These are very small things that you usually tend to ignore when you are developing an application. But if you have to transform your application or change the architecture, you will run into these error messages, and it is very handy if you know what you're doing. So with that, our build is successful. Let's try to run the application. Great, you can see everything is working as expected. So with this, we have separated the data layer inside its own class library. That being said, what I want to do is if I add a new migration, I want to make sure it gets added inside the migrations folder. So let me go to Tools, NuGet Package Manager, Console. I'll just add a new migration, give it a name of test. We'll stop the debugging here. The migration should be empty because we have not changed anything in our DB context. Great, now you see an error message. This error we were not seeing before when we just had one Rocky project. Here you can see your target project Rocky does not match with the migration assembly Rocky_data access. Let me dive into this in the next video.